Oh, welcome, Jeanette. Girl, what you doing up at this Morris time of morning? I just happened to come in here and I had taken a bath and got a second wind. So I'm like, let me go put some downloads down. Welcome to the two people. I see people are awake. So yeah, I'm in here sitting in here with my comforter. I don't know why I haven't turned on my heat because I feel like it's ridiculous to have to turn the heat on in like April, but I'm cold and shit. So I got my comforter. And so I'm sitting in here, but I got some downloads for you guys. So I got about a couple of pages of downloads. What did I title this? Witching Hour Release. Oh, it's a Witching Hour Release. What did I name it? Um, Whatever. So yeah, welcome Elm City Live too. So let me get myself situated. So yeah, I kind of been busy all day, and like the day just started getting away from me. You know what I'm saying? And I looked up and it was late and shit. And I was like, well, if I do this and nobody catches me, yeah, it's a little cold. You know what I'm saying, for April. So, but anyway, so I don't know what the hell I said. I can't see the title of this, but I welcome. Thank you, Elm City Live, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you, your feedback. Okay. That's love. Okay. So yeah, y'all. So, I just want to talk about, what it's going to be looking like going forward. As far as like the teachings that are going to be going forward, even though, it's just like in any, religious text, in any, like, you can use the Bible for an example. Most of the stories, if you go over them, if you go from the beginning to the end of it, they all basically is a lot of the repetition of the same message. Okay. Maybe different players, same game, different players, different story. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not, but it may be a different, story, but basically the underlying message is still the same. Okay. Because it's a message that people have been trying to get out, for a long time. So, you have a lot of different teachers coming, trying to get this message out, taking different approaches, basically. So basically what the teachings going forward are basically going to be kind of like the same thing. It's like the same repetition, but because the reason why is because repetition is the best way, to get these teachers to basically have, lock it into your mind. You know how you're listening to a song and it's just like the beat, the repetition of the song, even songs you don't like get stuck into your head. You know what I'm saying? They get stuck in your head because of that repetition. Is a way to, it just naturally, that's just how the mind works. When you hear something over and over again, it becomes a habit. This is why the devil uses hypnotic rhythm. Okay, it's all about repetition. So basically the teachings are repetition of, but basically as you're going forward, because it's like a spiral going upward. Okay, so it's repetition of the past teachings, but they've been refined and upgraded. Okay, and so the best way to understand and integrate those frequencies of the 5D and beyond is through repetition. Okay, and so all of the great, esoteric teachings have had to be taught, more than once. So, and this is because we have yet to integrate, basically right now, we've yet to integrate or perfect or master the teachings that we've already learned. So this is why the repetition happens. We have to keep going over the lessons until we fully integrated them, until we've become, the knowledge that we have acquired, until we have, what I'm saying, until we've integrated it, perfected it, and mastered it. Okay, and so we will get repetitions of those same lessons until we have reached that. Okay, and we have yet to accomplish all of the goals that are necessary to easily access and exist in that fifth dimensional environment. So we still have things that we have to learn. And no, it's no it's not fun, but you know what, there is a certain, you do reach certain little plateaus within the journey. You know what I'm saying? That you do, they are some of the plateaus that we reach. Like sometimes I sit back and I think about some of the things that I have achieved thus far, even though there may be a lot of, things ahead of me that I do want to achieve. Don't allow that to negate the things that we have achieved that, are behind us. So, you know what I'm saying? We have to also take that into account, because a lot of times we're looking at how much further we still have to go. And you know what I'm saying, not really looking at how far that we've already come, though. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, it's the more aware that we become of the journey too, the kind of easier it becomes. There's not really much you can do to make the entire journey an easy journey. It's not easy at all, but it is more bearable. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to tough it out when you understand what's happening and you're seeing it from a higher perspective. You know what I'm saying? But some people have mastered the things that they needed to master, and some people have moved into a new reality, but most people have not. You know what I'm saying? Most people haven't done that yet. But we're still, I say, overall, we are making good, I would say my group, okay, and I'm not just saying my private Patreon or anything like that. I'm saying like my particular family of light and the people that I feel like I'm energetically connected with by frequency. I feel that we are making good time. Of course, we would all like to make everything instantaneously and to grow quicker and make it all go quicker. But I feel that we are making good progress. You know what I'm saying? But some people have already completed what they needed to, but most people haven't. It's a critical stage of higher consciousness integration going on the planet right now. And so it's happening in mass. So it's not just like it's happening as an individual, but it's also happening in mass. Okay, and patience and faith and divine timing are what we're going to need going forward. Okay, so a lot of people, that is for me personally, patience has always been a major theme in my life. Okay, and so patience and trusting in the divine to give the perfect timing and do things in perfect timing, that willingness to allow the process to unfold in its own time. Okay, and trusting that the larger non-physical part of you, your oversoul, trusting that to orchestrate the events of your life going forward. That's basically what we're walking in, going forward, basically trusting our higher self to orchestrate and guide us, okay, down even the parts of the road that we can't see. Okay, so that basically giving them control over the timing and the tempo of the final stages of this process. Okay, whether we're going, whether we're because we're all on different stages of growth and at different places on the path or the ladder of ascension. Okay, so whether you're going through an intense period of testing or growth or the dark night of the soul, or you're in rest and recovery, whatever you are, you know what I'm saying, we're all experiencing this shift. Okay, and it's a universal initiation. Okay, and a universal initiation is basically an experiment with the manipulation of energy, okay, through the use of your own personal will. Okay, so you start to basically gradually understand, the planes of consciousness, the higher planes of consciousness. Okay, and how to integrate that cosmic wisdom that's available as we continue to ascend, consciously. So it's really all about learning and adorning yourself with this knowledge. Okay, and if you're on this path where I am on it, then you should be thirsty for the knowledge. You should be sucking it up. Okay, and it's important that we are also discerning about the energies, and I've been talking about this the whole time, what we're allowing into our sphere of influence, what we're attracting and integrating. Okay, and because basically we are composed of energy units, okay, of various frequencies that affect us, and our emotions, and affect everything about us. Okay, so it's vital that we learn how to control those things, okay, and control our emotions. And because your frequency, again, everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Okay, so the energy field that we move in, okay, and that we live in, and it creates our reality in the material world. It is basically returning to balance. It's been off balance for a long time. Okay, so we're, as with the entire earth, is basically in a space of returning to that balance and trying to harmonize those energies. Okay, the energies that have been polarized up until now. Okay, and this can be reflected back to you in the collective reality that we all share, and also in your own personal reality. Okay, conflicts, division, and anything representing polarity consciousness is going to cease to exist. Okay, as a hindrance to peace, prosperity, and joy, as these energies begin to balance themselves. Okay, because once you get achieve balance, again, these things start to reflect themselves in your outer world. Okay, and so it's, you get back to that balance, is basically that still point of perfected harmony within yourself. Okay, and so when you have that within yourself, then all of those things that were hindrances to you growing begin to disappear out of your reality. The light in you is growing. Okay, it's becoming more apparent in some people, and then in some people the darkness is becoming more pronounced and apparent, because that great divide that I've been talking about is taking place as we speak. Okay, and each individual person is going to have to choose their path. Okay, going forward, either you going on that upward spiral, okay, of enlightenment and expansion, or you're going on the downward spiral, which is where all the chaos is, and the limitation and the fear that everybody's running around about the Rona and scared. This is where they are, on that downward spiral. So this is the time, because the divide is actually happening. Okay, but the divine and the angel, the angelic realms, is also always available to help you, assist in making your highest choices as far as which way you want to go. But that should be like a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? Either you're going on the upward spiral, or you're gonna go down into fear and into devil energies. Okay, of fear, anxiety, self-doubt, doubting the things that you believe in. You know what I'm saying? All of these things, that other people are experiencing. Some of us are actually going upward on the spiral. Okay, becoming more enlightened, expanding in our consciousness. Okay, so basically it's like a cosmic dance of energies. Okay, and the divine is trying to help basically get everyone in tune with the rhythm of the frequencies of the higher realms. Okay, So it's not a dance of like those polarized energies in 3D where it was like, the battle of good and evil, good versus bad, light versus dark, right versus wrong. It's not about that. It's really more about the middle path. Okay. And it's about balance, finding that middle ground. Okay. And finding harmony and being able to synchronize and align all of your bodies. Okay. Meaning your physical, mental, emotional, and etheric bodies. Okay, it's about alignment and balance. So it's about, not looking at the polarity. When you're looking at like the yin yang symbol, those energies really should not be polarized. They should be complementary. Okay, so basically, as you're coming into balance as the planet and the planetary energies are coming into balance and harmonizing, your physical bodies, well, not just your physical bodies, but all four of your bodies should be also coming into balance and synchronizing with one another. Again, aligning your physical, mental, emotional, and etheric bodies, okay, so that they resonate with one another and complement one another and are not polarized or having any sort of like cognitive dissonance between any of your bodies, but they're all resonating and complementing one another, okay? Because um we're moving fast through, basically as we're moving through this ascension. Okay, and this point, the divide is happening where some people are moving up and some people are moving down. And the people who are moving up, even though you're moving up, you're still moving through, residual distortions, okay, of the old reality, into a new, more clearly defined, fifth dimensional reality, or higher reality. Okay, and so your mental and emotional awareness are trying to catch up with this higher reality, still kind of teetering between dimensions, like I was talking about. How do you prepare your children? By talking about it, by like just like what I'm doing, the same way that I'm sitting here preparing you. Everything that you're learning, teach them. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you know, share it with them. Everything that you're aware of, make them aware of it. You know what I'm saying? We prepare them by giving them all the knowledge that we have, so that they're going in, with as much ammunition. And it's not really about going into a war. It's about preparing for a new world, okay, in which everything is going to be better. So it's like the same way that you're preparing your own mind, okay, and accepting that, the old reality is passing away. I mean, we have no choice but to accept it. You know what I'm saying? Everything is being reconfigured right before our eyes. And so, but getting them acclimated and being prepared for the new reality is the things that I'm talking about right here, as far as like, harmonizing their energies and, you know what I'm saying, balancing and getting their bodies in alignment. Okay, so that they, again, learning about those things, learning about your physical, mental, emotional, and etheric bodies, learning how to align those things, becoming more spiritual, basically, because the higher realms is all about spirit. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically, you start meditating, you know what I'm saying? You start eating a better diet, you start to learn more about, the creation and about yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's all about knowing yourself, because you are a microcosm of the cosmic creation. Okay, and so we are moving through residual distortions of that old world into this higher world. Okay, and like I said, our bodies are trying to catch up and align with one another. Okay, and so at times we are teetering between realities, and we all are. So the only thing that you can do is educate them and make them aware. So everything that you become aware of, share that with them. Okay, because as this divide is happening, it's like, on one hand, when we're teetering between these dimensions, as our bodies are trying to align with one another, on one hand, we are aware of the higher realms. You know what I'm saying? And we're basically beginning to test our new heightened abilities. We are actually starting to manifest. Okay, we're seeing manifestations, we're having little mini miracles that are happening here and there, as we are being able to tap into those higher dimensions, and get some of that higher energy. Okay, just like a couple of people, she's not in here, Dimitri, I was talking to her yesterday, and she was telling me, because she always donates to my little fifth dimension, my little circle, my manifestation circle. And she says that ever since she's been donating to the 555 circle, that her finances have been improving. So little things like that, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, like, we are already tapping into those higher, higher fifth dimensional and higher energies. Okay. And so she welcome, Mana Baruku. I'm on my way to bed, but I will be lost. Definitely. Okay, that's fine. Playback safe. Okay, good night. And yeah, I'm so glad that you stopped by anyway. But yeah, we're already starting to tap into those higher dimensional energies, but we're also teetering back and forth. So on one hand, we're manifesting, we're making little miracles here and there, which is exciting. But then on the other hand, we're still aware of the chaos and the swirling, that's swirling around us in the air, and the fear that everyone else is going through. And I think that's kind of what you're speaking of, Jeanette, when you're saying how do we prepare the children, because they're tweet. But I feel that they are going to be more, if you don't succumb to fear, I think they will be easier. They're going to acclimate to the higher dimensions even easier than most older people will. Okay, but the energies in the air right now, on the lower realms, is chaos and fear. Because the old world is being reconfigured. Okay, and it's still in the lower energies of things like fear and lack, separation, duality, polarity, okay, and the need to control and dominate other people. And so that's where, the lower, so basically you're teetering between those dimensions, okay, of basically manifesting little miracles and experiencing higher dimensional frequencies, higher dimensional emotions, and then, coming back and seeing people in fear and separation, duality, you know what I'm saying? And so to transmute and transcend those lower vibratory energies, we have to reintegrate all of the different facets of ourselves, okay, and realign those, okay. Like what was my video? The video that I talked about, I have a video where I actually laid out the process, where I break down the process of alignment and active. The video is called Alignment and Activation, okay? And I think it may have been it was only about a week ago, maybe. It may have been a witching hour release. Either way, whichever it was called Alignment and Activation, or Activation and Alignment, but I'm sure it was Alignment and Activation, okay? And I've laid out basically the process, where you're basically reprogramming your chakras, okay, which is your energy centers, okay, and replacing old sabotaging thought forms and self-doubt with new master memory cells, okay, of God consciousness, okay, the God particles. Basically you're replacing old stagnant energy that was stuck in blocking your chakras with higher vibrational energies, okay, with God particles. And as you activate those chakras, okay, one by one, you're gradually basically activating the act of activating your chakras from the root all the way up is basically the activation of the seven seals, okay, of higher consciousness, okay. So I believe they speak about um the seven seals, okay, in the Bible, but it's the seven seals of higher consciousness, okay. So basically, as you're activating the chakras, yeah, it's called alignment and activation, Jeanette, and I basically break down that whole process of how we activate those, okay. And so the chakras, basically, once you've activated those, basically they each, as you activate them one by one, they each are like basically begin being activated and beginning to bring the attributes and the qualities associated with that particular chakra, and they're bringing those qualities into harmony, into alignment, okay. And as you activate each chakra, each one activates the next one, okay. And the seven seals, when once you've activated them all, you've ignited the pillar of light that's in your spinal column, basically the sacred fire, the kundalini that's coiled at your spine, okay. So it's all like a light, a flicking on of lights, or an activation of a one by one activation of your energy centers or chakras. Welcome, Caroline Pretty from London. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, so basically, you're by activating your chakras, you're activating your seven seals, and then you're activating your kundalini. Okay, and once you've activated your kundalini, okay, then you have access to your higher self, or your oversoul, which I talked about in the last video. Okay, and I remember I said that there are levels to this shit. Okay, I believe that was the name of that video. Okay, there's levels to this shit. So that's when I talked about the oversoul. Okay, because like I said, on each level, just like on each level there's a new devil, on every level there's a new God as well, meaning that when you reach your higher self, there's always another higher self above that. Okay, so there's always a greater and greater God, meaning there's always greater and greater knowledge and wisdom to attain. Okay, no matter how high you go, the Akashic records are infinite. Okay, going into the future, the past, or whichever direction in space and time that you decide to move in. Okay, but basically I broke the process of activating those chakras down in those two videos. Okay, and so basically, once you have activated your kundalini, then you have access to your higher self, or your oversoul. Okay, and once you've accessed your oversoul, then you can break that down even into smaller parts. Okay, you can break that down into three parts. Okay, or you can call that a sacred triad. Okay, so the divine, basically the sacred triad consists of the divine will, divine love, and divine wisdom. Okay, divine intelligence. So it basically, the sacred triad, okay, is again divine will, divine love, and divine intelligence, which monitors and regulates basically your light infusion. So it's basically what's monitoring the downloads that I get. It's what is giving me the information that I'm giving to you guys right now. Okay, from my oversoul. Okay, the oversoul and the sacred triad. Okay, the divine will, divine love, and divine intelligence is what is feeding me the downloads. Okay, and it's also what monitors your spiritual gifts. Okay, this is where it comes from. So you can break these parts down, but you can, those three parts. So it's just like this is what they try to explain with the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, or however you want to say it. They're trying to explain the sacred triad, okay, which is again divine will, divine love, and divine intelligence. Okay, and basically, this sacred triad again monitors how you get your downloads, and also how which gifts that you get, or how aware of your gifts that you're going to be according to your level of spiritual awareness. Okay, and also according to your needs. Okay, and so meditation always helps you, because it's vital, it is essential that you meditate. Okay, because it helps subdue the finite mind so that you can tune in to the voice of your higher self. Okay, and there's active and passive meditation, and you can do them both because they both help. Okay, so affirmations help. Okay, affirmations are prayers with power. Okay, so when you say affirmations, just as long as you make sure that you express them with confidence and certainty that whatever it is that you're affirming is going to manifest in the proper form and at the proper time. You have to be certain of that when you say your affirmations. When you send your affirmations forth with loving intent, okay, for the greatest good of everyone, then you're aligning yourself with your higher self. Okay, and within the universe, when you're aligned with your higher self, you're basically being God. Okay, and when you speak with the voice of your higher self, the universe is going to combine. Okay, it's going to conspire, and it's going to combine your thoughts with those of other people of like light. Okay, it's basically, because remember how I explained how the energy goes out from you, it goes in a loop, and as it's going around that loop, it's gathering in other energy of the same frequency. Okay, so when you speak from your highest self in affirmation, you're literally speaking with the energy and the mindset of God. Thank you for the cash app, Jeanette. So you're speaking with the voice of God. And so basically that is combining your thoughts with the thoughts of light with other people who are having thoughts on that same frequency. And basically it's increasing the strength and the power, the momentum, of your thought and giving it power. Okay, so that is a prayer with power, and an affirmation that, again, that is spoken with certainty, with confidence, that you know is going to come, okay, in the right form and in the right time. Okay, and so when you do that, you're aligning with your higher self, and basically the whole universe is going to conspire, join in with you, and lend energy to your affirmation in order to bring it into being. Okay. Silent meditation is listening for an answer from your higher self, okay, or a guardian angel, or your sacred triad. Okay. So with everything that's happening right now and everything that we're experiencing, all sort of conflicting thoughts, okay, and we're basically, but I even though we're seeing, even though we're having all of these conflicting thoughts, because we are teetering between dimensions, and you know what I'm saying, a lot is going on the planet right now. What I've noticed is that we are beginning to see these things from a higher perspective and not really succumbing to the fear. Okay, and even when we do have our swing low, okay, and when we do have lower emotions, I've noticed that we are beginning to transmute those emotions much quicker. Okay, we're transmuting them much quicker, and also moving back right into our heart center, where we, a lot of people have at least learned how to center, stay centered in our heart center. So yes, we may get drawn out here and there by dramas and little things that are going on around us, but we are learning how to transmute those much quicker. So this is what I was saying by, even though we have a long way to go, we are making, some sort of progress. I'm seeing that. Okay, and so, being able to move back in your heart center much quicker than you used to is progress, and we're seeing things from a higher perspective. So we're not getting so drawn into the dramas. Okay. And again, when we do, we getting right back out of it real quickly and not really staying in those lower vibrating places. Okay. So we're basically starting to be able to intuitively, um, you know what I'm saying, know that we need to not stay in those dark or low heavy places where there's heavy or dark energy. We know how to get ourselves out of it. Okay. Also, as our gifts are being heightened going forward, we are, a lot of us, our intuition, our third eyes are open, our crown chakras are open, and so intuitively we are able to see other people headed towards, unpleasant situations, if they stay on the present course of actions that they're on, or if they stay on the timeline that they're on. We're able to see what they're headed towards. We're able to see the outcomes, negative outcomes and good outcomes. Okay. And this is the thing about it, though, because your intuition is heightened and you can see those things. We're going to be feeling like we want to reach out, we want to intercede, and, we're not going to be able to. Okay, so don't even waste your time trying to. So just, this is why I'm warning you ahead of time. Like, yes, your intuition is stretching out to the point where you can see other people getting ready to run into big mistakes that they're getting ready to make. You can see what they're getting ready to do, and you want to help them. Okay, but we're not going to make the mistakes of the martyrs in the past, because this is a waste of time. These people do not want to be, you know what I'm saying, taken off. They're not going to listen to you. This is basically wasting your time. Okay. And so you're not going to be able to intercede for, just like the angels can't really interfere with us or resolve our problems for us. Okay. We're not going to be able to do that for them. Okay. We can be, what we can do is be an example, okay, of strength by basically staying focused in our heart center. Okay. No matter what is going on around us in the world, we have to learn to focus on our inner world, and find sanctuary within our own soul space. Okay. And so be an example to them, because when they see that you are not bothered by what's going on, you still peaceful, you're happy, you're centered. Okay, because you have found sanctuary within your own soul. Okay, this is the only way you're going to be able to help them, by being an example, okay, of holding your center. Because when Archangel Michael kept telling me to hold my center, I was really trying to, I'm like, hold my center? What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? This is why I had to get this broken down for me. Like, what do you mean? So yes, that is you. You can find sanctuary within the center of your own soul. Okay. And so you have to hold that in the midst of the chaos that's about to be happening. Okay. Because, basically your mind, body, and your soul all have rhythmic cycles, okay, and functions of their own. And you have to learn what those functions are, okay, and how to stay in, how to basically bring those things together and make them work for you, okay. So the soul is basically focused on becoming enlightened. The mind is focused on obtaining and retaining information. The body is focused on experiencing things via the senses, okay. So the body wants to have pleasures, it wants to taste, touch, smell, and see things, it wants to feel things, okay. And all of humanity is basically experiencing these. This is the cycles of life are cycles of growth, stagnation, and decay. Okay, this is what we're going through right now. Okay, the person who has mastered, is becoming an ascended master, that we turn inward. Okay, you're going to turn inward. You're going to basically strive for an enhanced quality of life by the way that you're feeling and what you're experiencing inside. Okay, but the drifter is those people who are seeking outward for stimulation, okay, and looking for pleasurable physical sensations and material possessions to get their peace from, okay. So you don't want to focus outward, okay. But most of the people who are narcissistic in nature and not spiritually inclined, they will be, go seeking outward, okay, looking for. This is why everybody's running around getting the damn toilet tissue and trying to do all that, trying to ensure themselves physically. When a person who is the master and is mastering this reality, we're turning inward at this time, okay? And we are enhancing our own personal quality of life and ignoring the things that the devil is putting before you, trying to get you to be in a state of fear, okay, and anxiety. We externally focus things like love. Even when you externally focus, not just your view on what's happening in the world and all of that, but it's all about focusing within. Because what's the saying, if you don't go within, you'll go without. And this is true. When we focus love externally, you're always going to be vulnerable, needing constant validation from someone or something else outside of yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's not what you want, okay. You want to focus your love as an internal focus, okay, because then you're tapped into that constant stream of well-being. You know what I'm saying? You're not all scared about, needing somebody else to love you and to tell you you're beautiful and all of that, but you're tapped in, okay. And so a constant stream of well-being. You're tapped into abundance. You're tapped into self-assurance, okay. So that's where you want to be focused internally. Outer focus people are always going to be looking for more and more, because nothing outside of yourself can really satisfy your soul. Okay, a lot of people's physical bodies are struggling with integrating these higher dimensional energies coming in. Okay, this is what the Rona is. It ain't nothing but ascension symptoms, like I said before. Okay, trying to integrate the higher frequencies of the higher the higher realms. It's basically causing people to have colds and flu-like symptoms. It's causing people to have things like constipation, just bodily changes. This whole, everything that everyone is going through over the planet, collectively, can be likened to a mass baptism by fire, if you will, okay, whereby all the old and dark, negative, heavy energy frequency patterns are literally like being burned out, being released, okay, transmuted, okay, to allow the higher energies to come in, to infiltrate and take dominion over the physical body, okay. So most people's physical vessels are going through this transmutation shift, and a lot of people are feeling those symptoms, okay. So the powers that were, okay, who are losing power at each day, they are using people's fear of these ascension symptoms, the corona, the Rona, to place things in your mind that about these symptoms that simply are not true. Okay, so basically the coronavirus that people are that everybody's running around scared that's going to kill everyone is really what's a symptom, symptoms, or indicative of your body going through this energetic shift into the higher realms, okay, and trying to transmute those old negative patterns and energies. And like I said, it's like a baptism by fire, okay, and it's a mass one where the whole entire planet you know, are going, you know, are basically feeling it. Okay, some more than others because some people had more negativity than others. You know what I'm saying? Some people are more fearful than others. So, you know, but you know, the people who are in fear, you know, you can tell, like I said, it's a great divide, so we're going in different directions. Okay, but for those of you who are claiming that, you know, harmony and a peaceful existence is your, you know, is your reality. Okay, and you claim that harmony and peaceful existence for everyone as your reality, then, you know, this is your test, this is your time to show and prove. Okay, and you have to know, you know, even in the midst of all this chaos, okay, literally cosmic construction that's going on, that's, you know, all this chaos that's swirling around our heads. In the midst of it, if you can find sanctuary within your own soul, okay, then you are, you know, you then you'll know, and you'll be able to stand strong in the midst of all of that. Stay within your, you know, within your sanctuary, and you know, you can stay there until it passes. So, you know, basically the message is that this too shall pass. And we know this. Okay. So this is the message that you have to demonstrate by staying centered, by staying peaceful, by staying centered in your soul, in your heart space, and sharing the message that this too shall pass. Okay. And allowing the people around you to be inspired by your own courageousness, by the peace that you seem to feel even when they are fearful. You know what I'm saying? And again, let your message be that this too shall pass. Okay. So this is I think this is enough for right now, you guys. It's 5:14 a.m. Okay, it is. We are listening to Supernatural Brainwave Power. Okay, positive energy meditation, 432 hertz, which speeds up the law of attraction. This is the miracle healing tone frequency. Okay, so do your visualizations. Again, we spoke about the importance of meditation, connecting with your oversoul, your higher self, connecting, igniting the seven seals. Okay, which are directly correlated to the seven chakras. That as you ignite one by one, you all ignite the sacred fire, the kundalini. Okay, the energy that is, you know, the sacred serpent that is coiled at the root of your spine. Okay, at the base of your spine. We talked about a lot. So if you really want to go back and realize that you're activating the seven seals, go back to activation and alignment video, and also to what's the other video? There's levels to this shit. If you want to know more about the oversouls, they were the two videos before this one. Okay, you know, not the Jamila videos and all that bullshit, but like the witching hour releases. One of them may have just been, you know, a video that I did in the middle of the day on the channel. Okay, you are most welcome, Jeanette. Thank you for sharing this time and space with me, also joining in the 5D manifestation circle. Many blessings. Thank you for the super chat, Elm City Live, and everyone else who has shared this time and space with me, and also many blessings to those who will catch the playback. Okay, until we meet again, my people, keep it classy, keep it clean, and do what you got to do to make shit happen. Peace.